Good evening.
Yes, Amelio, I trust you have been okay.
Yes, I'm okay.
Mm,
Happy to see you back from Burundi, and we thank God for everything.
yeah. It's a pleasure. We are happy we had a very successful trip and also forums. And we realized there is a lot of hunger out there. I think Kenya, there's so much trainings that are going on, and there are other parts of the world that are really in need of some of this training. It was a very good experience. And there's much more that we planned that will be coming up.
That's good. Yeah, sometimes we have something until we take it for granted.
That's true.
Yeah, but when we go out, we are able to appreciate what we have.
That's very true. Actually, we planned to go back there in October. Yeah, for that will be a bit more tight, very intense training for the trainers of leaders, those that we have trained through the GLN program, so that we train them to be leaders in that country. We'll also be training them on the impact leadership, the one-day training. And I will also be training church leaders. So it will also be another very packed program in October that we shall be sharing more information as we continue to plan. So let's be ready. I think more doors are opening for us, and we thank God for that.
That's good. We thank God for everything.
Okay, Mr. Samuel, greetings to you.
Greetings to you, Joseph, and other leaders. There has been a while. I think the break has been said 2 weeks or more a week. I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
However, karibu sana. We've been following you online on the updates. We are happy for the milestones that you're able to achieve or to realize. Burundi.
Yeah.
As also Marriott put it, I think in Kenya we have plenty. We don't realize what is out there. Because until we go, that's when we experience some of these things. Yes, I've been to Rwanda for over 7 years, and as you say, there is a knowledge gap. Big one, because capacity creators. I would say, I think even Rwanda is better. When you look at Burundi is far back. Capacity enhancers and creators in those countries, those you'll find there are from Kenya. They are not very many. So I agree with you. There is that hunger, especially on this area of leadership. And as you're planning for October, I wish you success in the preliminary arrangements. Back to you, Joseph. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, indeed, Rwanda is quite ahead. And I think one thing we liked with Rwanda, systems are working. That is one place you drive at 60 kilometers per hour. Anywhere there is a sign, you are very keen to observe the signs, because cameras are all over, and you get a ticket immediately. You make a fault, and including zebra crossing. You try to cross the zebra crossing when there is a pedestrian, that's a ticket instantly. So we found ourselves taking so long to drive through Rwanda, because we had to follow, observe all the rules. And to a fast driver, that can be a long journey. Yeah, but again, we saw systems working. In Burundi, I think one thing we liked with the Burundi, the country is quite peaceful, as much as they have gone through a lot of challenges in terms of war and apologies, leaders. My network went off. I'm in a place where the network is not very stable, but I've changed to another option. So as I was saying, I trust I'm clear now. Maybe just confirm that I am clear.
Yeah, you're very clear, Joseph.
Yeah. So as I was just explaining, I think we saw systems working in Rwanda. We also appreciated the effect of leadership when we visited the Genocide Memorial Park, and there are quite a number in the country. Those were many people, very many people to die because of hitches in leadership. It really gave us a real life experience on what we normally say, that everything rises and falls on leadership. Just a slight hitch on leadership can really be devastating. And that is what we saw in that country. But we also we saw resilience, we saw tolerance, we saw a leadership that was very determined to address the past issues in a systematic, intentional manner, and also to create cohesion. It's a long process, healing, because healing is a long process. One of the gentlemen who was taking us around, he showed us the picture of his father who died, and the mother died. He was rescued because they were transferred to Kenya when he was young. That's how he escaped. But the family members were killed. So, and you can see it's so real. Yeah. But the good thing is that they are talking about it, and they could tell us. Some of them, they even know who killed their loved ones. So it's a very vigorous journey. But the country has been able to go through that, still going through that. And the growth, the turnaround really speaks about the two aspects of leadership. One, you see the devastation because of leadership hitches. The other one, you see development, all attributed to leadership. Then in Burundi, there's a lot of willingness to grow in churches. The church where we were training leaders, they were actually wishing we had more days with them, and most of them were telling us what we learned. It's not something that we have been getting. Yeah, we've had many people coming, but we have really tested something that we feel we need to have more of this. And that's why we planned to go back. We've seen a country that is coming up. There are many opportunities in that country because they are growing, and therefore that also presents a number of opportunities. They have gone through their fair of challenges. For the last 3 years, they have not had fuel for the vehicles. And we could see long queues of vehicles to any petrol station waiting for fuel to come. And some of them, they were telling us they have been queuing. They leave their cars there for 2-3 days without fuel. And that's one of the major challenges that is affecting that country. We also saw the exchange rate. Yeah, and the exchange rate in the banks and the exchange rate in the market is so diverse. Yeah, in the black market is twice. You exchange a dollar in the bank at around 3,000 Burundian franc. You go out to the market, you exchange at 7,200. Yeah, you exchange the Kenya shilling in the bank at 23 shillings. Out there, you exchange the Kenya shillings at 15 Burundian franc. So, and again, that also speaks about the same discussion we are having. For the last 3 years, we were even praying that God intervenes in such a situation, because you see the number of vehicles and you ask ourselves, what is happening to all these people? Maybe who are taxi drivers, who are feeding their own family. It's a very major issue, and we are hoping, because of the willingness to open up the country, that they'll be able to find a solution. Yeah, so just I thought I just mentioned one or two things about that country. I know Mr. Alex was there. We were with Mr. Alex. I don't know, Sir Alex, if you can add a comment on what I've shared, if you're in a position. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll check with Sir Alex as we continue, if we can add a comment. I can handle a question or a comment based on what I've just mentioned. A comment or a question. And as Mr. Samuel said, sometimes when you go out, you really have a sense of appreciating our situation. We may not be the best, but at least we appreciate where we are. Okay, so let's move on to, yes, yes, Meliod.
Yeah, I'm asking, maybe in both Rwanda and Burundi, most of the organizations or companies, are they owned by the locals or international companies?
Yeah, most of them are owned by the locals, and we found Kenyans managing most of the institutions there. Like we have Mount Kenya. Okay, for them they call it Mount Kigali, which is our Mount Kenya here. The vice chancellor is a Kenyan, and a number of lecturers are Kenyans. We also visited some universities. We had 2 universities in Burundi, being led by a Kenyan. And also in Rwanda, we were informed quite a number of institutions are led by Kenyans. Yeah, some of them are owned and led by Kenyans, and also locally owned but managed by foreigners. I think Burundi closed off the foreign investors, so it's majorly relying on the local investors and also investors within the ESC region. For Rwanda is a little bit open. We have some foreign investors, but again, the management is majorly from either, we saw Kenyans, quite a number of Kenyans have taken leadership in most institutions. And we were also told people have built their confidence to the leadership of Kenyans. One of the university in Burundi had very few students. I think we were told, was it less than 100? And when a Kenyan took over, they were able to increase that to over 600 students. And that was a very strong message in terms of how people have confidence about us out there. Yeah. So many of that's how the scenario. It may not be very detailed because we were we just had an opportunity to interact shortly, especially in Rwanda, but at least we had a feel of how the situation is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so let's proceed from where we left to the last 2 weeks. And allow me to say a prayer. God, we are grateful that we have been able to convene tonight. You know, it's been a while, and we thank you for your grace. And we pray even as we interact, engage, and learn tonight, you guide us throughout this session. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. So today we're going to talk about marketing strategy. Maybe this may not be very new. There are some aspects that we could be familiar with, but it will also be an opportunity just to freshen our memories and also be able to learn one or two other things that can be new in this discussion. So since we haven't met for 2 weeks, I thought it's good to have a recap of where we stopped last week. And we looked at the business model canvas. I don't know if you were able to populate your business model canvas. Yeah, just confirm. Any of us who was able to do this?
Joseph, may I go first?
Yes, Mr. Samuel, you can go first.
I can say, well, I was not able to populate this. I don't have a business currently going on. I'm serving with a bank, but I would only want to mention that this business model canvas is is something that we are using, is a tool we are using to do business analysis. For example, if you want to mentor somebody who is in business, this BMC is a tool that you can use to diagnose the intricate matters of that business along these parameters, just to try and understand whether the business is using the right model or not, and how can you help that business adopt the right model. So from my point of view, I can say yes, is a very, very, very important tool for every business that is running. Even for us who have businesses, even if you develop it for your business, it's very good to be able to understand your business from all these elements. They are usually 9. So there are quite a number of questions that it is asking, and it is only by answering those questions that you can be able to understand where you are with respect to your business against every component or element, so that you can come up with something we call a gap, for example. So if for example, you're talking about key activities, if I would give an example of Melio, when she was in the business of selling, I think, some imported materials, I would say, what are the key activities that she engages herself in in order to deliver value to her customers. And we can say probably one of the activity is market research, purchasing, customer service. There is the activity of selling. There is the activity of transport, etc., etc. And probably you may find that through this component of key activity, you may ask a question like, how often does she do market research? And you may realize Mary did not do market research, or she is not even doing market research. So when you're using that element or that component of the BMC, you realize that Mary business has a gap. She does not do market research, and therefore she may not be able to understand the trends or what her customers would want vis-a-vis what herself she thinks can sell. And probably due to not doing market research, then that's why she's in the she finds her business in the challenge of dead stock or even low sales turnover or even overstocking. So now the intervention that she needs to do is to ensure that either she learns how to do it, or she hires somebody to do that research on her behalf, so that once she has done so, then she can remodel her business around that, so that now she stocks differently, her level of stock becomes different, her variety or product mix becomes different, but naturally reflecting what the market research has informed. So maybe that's the only way I can share out how I have been applying a BMC for purposes of business diagnosis. Back to you, Joseph. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Samuel. I think that really brings out clearly the practical application of the tool, and I like the way you've used the example of Melior. Yeah, and as we said, it's a management. Yeah, it's a strategic management tool, which also helps us to be able to have a visual view of all the key components that are important in the management and growth of our business. How do we create value? How do we channel this value all the way from the in the value chain process? Remember, we mentioned that from the creation of the value, the distribution of value or deployment of the value, and also from tracking of value. And this is where we also look at the issues of revenue streams. Yeah, and you can see all those components falling into place. And also the aspect that you have added. Maybe you want to diagnose the gaps in your business. You want to even to re-engineer your business. This can also be a tool that can help to re-engineer our business. So let's continue interacting with this. You can simulate your business, even an idea. You can also simulate an idea and see how it comes out. We also discussed about the value proposition canvas. And here we asked ourselves a number of questions. For that business that I'm running, what pains am I relieving my customers from? And what are the gains? Yeah, so I'm offering something like a pain reliever, but it has also to match with the pains and also the gains that the customer is experiencing. Yeah, and this is what normally markets as entrepreneurs. So if the value proposition is clear, then our messaging is clear, and the benefits to the customers are clear, and the problem that we are addressing is also clear. We looked at the value chain, the value chain management, and we looked at the primary activities and also the supportive or the support activities. And I think one of the things we also appreciated is the interlinkage of all this, all the way from the production, which is the inbound logistics. And some of these things might also require to start when we are small, just trying to put into place the structure so that when we grow big, then we grow with the systems in place. Yeah. We talked about business process reengineering, BPR. At certain points, it's good to relook at our processes and try to pick out any processes that we feel with the time might have become redundant, or a process that could be become necessary in the course of time. So at certain points, it might be important to redesign our processes, and the BPR focuses on the radical redesign. Yeah, maybe make them more customer-centric in case there are any shifts. Also, embrace technology enhancement, and also process focus, where we might need also to simplify our processes. And remember, this is where we are talking about the need to think like a customer. Yeah, the need to think like a customer. Always think like a customer. And we said what customer want. They need speedy service. They need options. They need to be understood. Confidentiality, consistency, reliability, as well as value for money. Yeah, so that's what we covered. And today we want to move this forward. Unless maybe there is a comment on the recap on what we covered. Maybe if there's one of us who may want to add a comment, can take that before we jump into our topic for tonight. Okay, so let me shift to marketing strategy. Yeah, marketing strategy. Those two words are, I think when it comes now to taking our products out there, they become critical, and we have to blend them as they are. Yeah, so because if you just, there's how we look at the marketing alone, but there's also how we look at marketing as a strategy, or the marketing strategies. Besides now what we'll look at, maybe the instant or short term, like sales strategies. Yeah. So first, to appreciate just the bigger picture of marketing strategy, we're saying it's an overall plan. Yeah, an overall plan on how to reach prospective customers. So we have anticipated, we have probably identified, and we have prospected our customers, and we have therefore want to see what is the best approach to reach out to customers. And one of the tools that is important in the marketing strategy is the value proposition. Yeah. So it describes the value proposition, also includes the what is the target market. Yeah. And what drives customers to use a particular product or service. And that's still part of the value proposition. So marketing strategy, one, we are saying it's an overall, it can also be a long-term plan on how to reach out the prospective customers. And I brought the value proposition here because, again, it blends very well when you're talking about a marketing strategy. Yeah. So this is part of what the messaging aspect in our marketing strategy. We'll still talk a little bit more about that. There are various strategies when it comes to marketing, and one of them is push marketing. Yeah, push marketing. So as an entrepreneur, you can use push marketing or you can use pull marketing. And as I share this, I'll request you to pick some examples. Just think of an example, maybe of a company that you feel either they have embraced push marketing or pull marketing. It can also be your own company, as there are certain instances where you have applied push marketing, and there are certain instances where you have applied push marketing. Then we look at when are they appropriate. So just a bit of appreciating the two. In the push marketing, the goal is to bring products or services to where customers are. That's why we're saying we are pushing, we're going to where the customer is. And this has to be always deliberate. It's also aggressive and proactive. Yeah, so it works well on the short term, and it tries to generate sometimes quick sales. Yeah, quick sales. So we are reaching out. But on the other side, on the flip side, when we look at pull marketing, it's about attracting. We are bringing customers to where we are. Yeah, so attracting customers maybe by creating high-value products and services that are addressing the particular needs and also a particular market segment. So this is based on the fact that there are already users who are seeking out the products that we are deploying into the market. Yeah. So one, we are taking the product. The other one, we are creating value, or we are using certain strategies to bring customers to where we are. I don't know if there is an example or a scenario that crosses your mind as we talk about this. Maybe just something that you can relate with, and maybe even a product that you have used or a company that you have interacted with, and you can now see where it falls in terms of marketing strategy. Was it a push marketing or was it a pull marketing? And then even in the sector, which companies or in which industry do we find more of push marketing, and in which industry do we find more of pull marketing? Just to appreciate the concepts. Yeah, just feel free to reflect on this. Look at the industry, look at all around. It can also be an experience. Just approach it from any perspective for us to appreciate these marketing strategies. More so on the industry. Where do we find more of push? Where do we find more of pull marketing?
Maybe I can suggest most retailers usually use more of push marketing than the pull marketing because because of competition, because every corner of the street there is a big retailer. Secondly, you find that seasons in the retail industry are very critical in supporting selling products. For example, Christmas. You will find a lot of promotions during festivities like Christmas, Eid al-Fitr, New Year, and also times like back to school. You'll find a lot of a lot of retailers presence in the media. Even now on the various social media platforms, they are there trying to inform would-be customers about what is on offer and maybe probably how they can benefit during this season, and the savings maybe they can be able to enjoy. I would say a bit of pull marketing is being used mostly by the banks and probably the communication industry. Mainly because of the products that they normally have. They are now, because I would say because of saturation. You cannot grow a population in terms of consumption. But what you can do, you can be able to expand. You can be able to expand expansion by developing new products to the same customers. For example, if you look at Safaricom, most of us are using Safaricom. They have a lot of products that they want us to adopt. The other day they came up with, apart from now push la biashara, there is this something else they are calling Sidisha, something like that. And actually the target is the same customers who consume push la biashara or use that service. They're the same customers who are being targeted. And in fact, they are loaning. Sorry for that. I'm down with some flu.
Okay, sorry for that.
They have opened for MSME financing from 0 to around 250,000 soft loans. So maybe those are the examples I can give. Again, it's push marketing and pull marketing. Back to you, Joseph.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. I don't know if Meliot, you can add a comment. Then Alex.
Okay, actually I wanted to say full marketing. I wanted also to give the same of banks. I've also thought about, like now, private hospitals and private schools. I find them now, they are using a lot of full marketing, where you find they are really trying to create value and then now advertise, attract the people using that, the pull marketing. So you find the hospitals, you find private for that matter, and the private hospitals, private schools. Then for the push marketing, yeah, I still had the same. You find, yeah, the retail products, especially with the social media. There's a lot of pushing the products to you in the TV, everywhere. The things, let's say consumable, fast moving product, or things that we consume very fast. They seem to use more of push marketing, maybe because of expiry, and also because they talk about they have small margins, so they want to push them faster. But when it comes to pull marketing, I see also there are those products, maybe high value. You may also find now the product may not go very fast, but when it goes, you're able to get more margin. So you'd want now first, the customer would need first to be convinced of why they'll spend their money, their time, because their time and effort consuming. So I find that in the market. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Meliot. Where do we place insurance companies? I know just we might lump them together. They may not all be in one category, but just a general view of perspective of insurance company. Could we classify them as push or pull?
To me, I would think they used to be push, but now I think they are realizing, because there was a time they used to push the product so much. They come, they really tell you, they come again and again. But I'm seeing that they are also changing the strategy more now to pull, to creating more value. For a long time, you could find insurance. They used to talk about, benefits when you die. And people used to feel no. So they came up now with the product of education, where even you can just save, and when you're retiring, you get money. Now even they have gone to even money market. You can invest in them. So I think now they are, to me, what I'm feeling is now they are changing to the pool marketing.
Thank you, Meliot. Okay, I don't know, Mr. Samuel, on the insurance industry. What is your take on this?
Yeah, so just like many of you have said, there's even now there's a lot of pushing in the insurance industry because of adoption. Quite a huge size of population have not taken up this idea of insurance. And beside creating the awareness that is required, there's a very big element of pushing. And one thing that they use, I would call it is a fear weapon. Like insurance will always talk about the uncertainty about tomorrow and how they want to secure it. And matters of death, matters of accident, matters of bankruptcy, and matters of bankruptcy. All these are things that they use kind of to create fear, so that they don't have to work very hard to entice you into adopting this, because there's a lot of insecurity. Tomorrow, nobody knows about tomorrow, and everybody wants to have some stability. You want your children to finish school. You want, when you grow old, at least to be stable. You want to feel like you are insured against any accident that may happen. If you get incapacitated, you want to feel secure. So that element of fear has been used for a long time by the insurance industry to push their products into the markets. I would say, as Mary said, yes, now they have diversified. They have increased their value, or they have expanded their value proposition. As you say, like even when you have been insured against old age, you can still have some other products in between upstream. You could be able, for example, to withdraw any amount. You can use that cover for some tax indemnity. You can use that cover as a collateral for a facility somewhere. So we still find that with the existing products, they are trying to diversify and to add more value to their consumers. So there is an element of pull marketing, and also there is an element of push marketing, which I also feel like it's still huge. It is still huge, based on the fact that quite a number of population is still not able to adopt these products or services by the insurer. That would be my take, Joseph. Back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, we are talking about less than 3% insurance penetration in Kenya, and that speaks of on one side the opportunities, on the other side it speaks of probably what are the challenges. And maybe with a shift, hopefully with a shift, as you have all said, hopefully that can yield some returns with the time. The reason why GLN we normally hold the information session, the open information session, is also to allow leaders to appreciate the value. We normally tell them after the information session, the open information session, you can now make a decision. If you are really convinced to undertake our programs, if you might require some more information, but it's basically to let the leaders appreciate the value, and then now they can willingly take up the course. So for pull marketing, as we've just highlighted, it's about showing the value, creating value, and allowing the target clients to pull the product. So where do the applicable spaces for push marketing? We're saying maybe when you're launching a new product, a new business, there could be need to push because it's new, maybe in the market. You need to have adverts, you need to let people know. When you're releasing a new product, maybe running a promotional campaign, or even getting to a new segment, promoting a brand, and also maybe trying to generate more cash flow. So there could be need just to use that. So that's push marketing. On the other side, for pull marketing, you're saying it ensures long-term business growth. It's more, you're looking more into the long term. It might also require more strategic planning, maintaining dominance, maybe in a particular area, also building return customer base or to improve loyalty. Yeah. So pull marketing, push marketing. Pull marketing, I think this is now where some of this program falls into, like the loyalty of Sin supermarkets and other businesses embracing the loyalty system, so that you keep on going to the same branch, or the same using the same. If it's a supermarket, the same brand. So increase social media traffic as well as social media sharing. That's where we can use pull. Grow traffic or even improve sales and revenue without an expensive advert budget. So I think the example of supermarket is one of a more appropriate example we can share here. There are other examples. I see some companies now, they no longer market their products so much, or even they no longer market because we have seen the need. Safaricom or these other companies not need to advertise for airtime. There's a time they used to really advertise, but nowadays we just pull. It's part and parcel of our life. Yeah, it's addressing our daily needs. So I see on Sundays in a number of churches, those messages about M-Pesa. Yeah, so people have taken up. They are actually marketing the product. They've integrated the product into our systems. Yeah, so that we are now the ones who are pulling more and more as the companies continue to also diversify. Yeah, so we have the 4 P's of marketing. It's a concept that also helps us just to look at these 4 basic pillars of any marketing strategies, ensure that we have we take care of the very important parameters that are important when it comes to the issues of marketing. So in the one of the P's that is important in the marketing, we have to think about the product. Yeah. And the product, there are many things that we might need to consider. We might need to consider the quality of the product. We need to consider the packaging. That can also be part of the quality, the brand, the services, all that. Price, we need to also to think in terms of the offer price. Maybe sometimes there are also discounted prices, and even how do we determine the price of our products? So there are many issues again to consider there. Then promotion. This is where we create publicity. This is where we advertise. And then place, the market, the location, the channels, and the distribution. So if I'm launching a new product, then I have to think about this. Yeah, so which product do I want to offer? What will be the appropriate price? Maybe the introduction price. How do I promote my business? And what is the most ideal place? Is it online? Is it physical? And if it's physical, what location would be the most appropriate. So product, we look at quality, the design, the brand, the packaging and features, and also the convenience of use, including handling and delivery. Price, say the price list. Maybe sometimes we have discounts given, we have terms and means for payment. That's part of the price, issues that we need to discuss under the price. We also have cost versus benefit, as we compare to the market. So as I set the price, again, I need to understand the market and also other products that are being offered in the same space. Then place, physical or online, business rich area, location, distribution and transport of goods, and also differentiation of local competitors. So an ideal location, either physical or online. Nowadays, we're also considering the platforms online, which is the most appropriate platform. Then place. The other one is the promotion. Yeah, the other one is promotion. How do we promote the product? Which channels do we use to promote our product? So that's the marketing strategy. We just focused on the 2 just focused on a brief of the definition, pull versus push marketing, and then the 4 P's of marketing. There is much, much more that we can discuss in this topic, but we just wanted to be very precise on these 2 and allow us to look at the book. The book has more than what I've presented on the slides. Okay. Yeah, so I think I can move on since we have engaged, unless there is a comment on the 4 P's of marketing. Okay. I think since we have discussed, allow me just to move on to the next part is the branding, business branding strategy. And I thought we could start by looking at these many, many logos here. And I'm sure just by looking at a logo, we can be able to identify even some of the companies here. They may not have indicated the name on the logo, but we can look at it and be able to pick the company. Let me point to one of the companies here and request you to just identify which company is this. So I'm circling one of the companies here. Are we able to identify this company? The one that I've circled? Are we able to identify that company? I don't know if you can see where I've circled. Maybe you could confirm that first. Melody, have you seen where I've circled? Just to confirm that it's clear.
No, unless I'm using a phone, but
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Oh, you have seen.
Siemens.
You've seen this
Siemens.
one. The one that I've circled with yellow now.
Mr. President, is the one that is above Siemens.
Yes, above that. Are we able to tell which company that is?
Starbucks.
Yeah, that's Starbucks.
Siemens.
Yeah, just above Siemens, we have that is Starbucks, and we are able to tell the name just by looking at the logo. Let me point another one. Now I'm using a yellow pen, so I've highlighted another one. This one, we can tell which one this one is.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, and we are telling just from the logo. I didn't put some local ones. I think I should have combined with some local companies. Yeah, because this is now the brand name or the branding. People must be able to relate with our products just from a logo. I even didn't include our logo here for GLN. I think I did that in another class, and a few of us were able to identify that. That also it made us appreciate that we need to do more work in terms of how we use our logo for people to appreciate what we stand for, who we are, just by looking at the logo. Okay. I'm trying to see which one we can look at. Okay, I think that's quite okay. So this is part of what we are talking about, branding. Yeah, so if we are strategic in our branding, Then we are very clear in terms of what elements are important in branding, and that's what you're going to talk about. Yeah, what elements are important when it comes to branding? What should we have? And again, this can be more of just a recap of what we are doing in practice. Yeah, so we are saying branding. We want to create a strong, positive perception of our companies or our products. Yeah, and we do this by ensuring that we have certain elements in place. And one of the elements that we have already looked at is the logo. Even before we get into the details of the mission statement, we get to the details of the colors. There's certain colors. When I see equity, there's certain colors that come to mind. When we see GLN, there are certain colors that come to mind. Yeah. So, and we're saying effective branding has to be strategic, so it's intentional, it has to be planned out, as opposed to marketing, which is just tactical. Yeah, so strategic, it means we have even to deal with the perceptions. The perception, we have to sometimes look at how to diversify, look at how to look into it's long term. Yeah, it's long term. Tactical, we are saying it's more short term. We are looking at probably how do we gain the attention now. But strategic branding, it can take time, but eventually people will appreciate who we are. So branding also entails clearly defining our promise. So what is our promise to our target customers? Yeah, it's also it's geared towards enabling a business to achieve the objectives as well as the goal. Yeah, and it identifies what our business represents. What do we represent as a business? What is our competitive position or competitive advantage? And how effectively can we reach out to the market? So I'll talk about some of the components in the next few slides. But the promise here, majorly, I wanted just to focus on the promise, the brand promise. Yeah, the unique idea that is behind our brand purpose. What is our purpose, and what are we promising to the customers? Yeah. So this again is, you can see the linkage between this and the value proposition. So there is a linkage there. Yeah. So besides the vision, our why, besides the mission or our how, and also besides the core values or the principles, then we have the brand promise as well as the brand positioning. Yeah. Effective branding, we're saying, should be consistent. Yeah. Across all platforms. And we're saying a branding message should also include the image, like the logo, and we should explore having this across many various platforms. So there is what we call the brand touch points wheel. Yeah, brand touch points wheel. Yeah, this could be the websites where we are reaching out to our customers, the points where we are connecting with our customers. It can be the loyalty programs. It can be product performance. Yeah. So the pre-purchase experience, purchase experience as now we engage, and also post-purchase experience. All those are the brand touch points, ways that are important in our brand. So what are the benefits of branding? Just to mention a few, we're saying this helps us to have strong customer loyalty. Yeah, strong customer loyalty because of the value, because of the promise, because of the vision, because of the values that we believe in. yeah, and also higher perceived value. It also gives us a difference in the market. The differentiation sets us apart in the market, and also the emotional connection to our customers. So increases recognition and credibility, increases sales, that is the returns, and also attraction and retention of customers. So branding requires careful planning, and also it needs to align with products and customers, as well as products and services, as well as customer expectations. So these are just a few. I know there could be more other benefits that would come with a strong brand. But majorly, I know in terms of revenue, in terms of loyalty, and also in terms of connection, emotional connection to our audience, referrals, among others. So we have some key steps in branding. One, we need to define and understand our customers. I think this has been a message from the very beginning. So identifying our customers so that we are very focused in terms of the channels, and also the mode of communication, and the target segment, and also the best approach to reach out to our customers, and also understanding their needs, their likes, their motivation, and also what would attract them to our products. So once we are clear with that, then we define our brand persona. And this one is something that also we have seen some companies out there using a brand persona. Yeah, maybe a character, a person. It could be fictional, but it can also be a true, a real person. Yeah, representing a brand's values, personality, and overall image, just to create some humanized connection, the real connection with the real people. Yeah, real people using the products, and that way people can be able to identify. So we need to define our brand persona. I know not all businesses embrace this, but ideally, this is also an approach that we could adopt. Then crystallize your brand promise. Yeah, so what is our promise? How our product and services will improve the lives of people. That's part of the brand promise. How do we deliver our promise? And then we are saying we need to maintain transparency and authenticity. So what is the third step is to crystallize our brand promise. So what are we promising to our customers? And you can still see the value proposition in all this. Then we perfect our visual assets. This is where we're talking about our logo, we're talking about our website, we're talking about our colors, maybe our packaging, and all that. So research shows that having a memorable signature color will increase the chance of customer recognizing our product by 80%. So the visual assets, that when just the way we started by looking at those logos there, yeah. So the visual aspects will enhance our product recognition, and that can also translate to revenue, customer loyalty, among others. Then we refine our customer experience. Yeah, and this now is through the touch points. So we ensure that every interaction and touch points with customers is aligned with brand promise and follows the anticipated guidelines or gains. So this encompasses return policies, shipping arrangement, to email marketing, communications, and more. So our customer experience. So at the various touch points. What should be what are the anticipated experiences that our customers should be able to enjoy. Then give back is the last step. Give back. Yeah, this is where we acknowledge and we appreciate loyal customers. Yeah, and this can also strengthen the brand image. I see a number of companies doing this, maybe at the beginning of the year, at the end of the year. It's part of how they market, is the way they also ensure that we appreciate their brands. I see some giving diaries, others giving umbrellas, and many other products. Yeah, so that again strengthens the brand image. Okay, so finally, there are branding key elements. One of the elements that needs to be very clear in our branding strategy is the brand purpose. Yeah, the brand purpose. Yeah, the reason for being and what we stand for, aside from the usual business goals or objectives. So what is the real purpose of the company or the business? And this is now where we look at it from the customer perspective in terms of maybe improving the lives of the customers. So this is the why the customers should use our product. And I remember this quote by Simon Sinek: people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They don't just buy our products, but they buy the product because of the purpose, because of how it will improve the lives of the customer. So brand purpose is key as one of the elements. The other element is brand values. Yeah, the core beliefs, the principles that guide how to operate, interact with our customers, and also how we build our relationships. So we are saying this represents what our company stands for, what we stand for as an enterprise, and also our identity. In the branding, the identity is key. So people can easily be able to identify us if we have done our branding well, like what we did on those logos. Yeah, the first slide. It's easier for people to identify us. Brand values they're also essential for creating a strong brand, and that has to align with customer expectations and also fostering loyalty. So we have brand values. Just an example, there's a number of examples there. Maybe affordability, maybe collaboration. Probably we could talk of quality. We could talk of value for money, reliability, among others. Yeah. Then we have the brand mission and vision. Yeah, the brand mission and vision. These are also other elements. Yeah. And we're saying the mission statement should help us or help the customers appreciate the current purpose and what we are doing or what we stand for. But the vision should give that aspiration into the future. I thought this reference of Coca-Cola would be a good example. The mission is refresh the world, make a difference. Refresh the world, make a difference. The vision, to craft the brands and choices of drinks that people love, to refresh them in body and spirit, and done in ways that create a more sustainable business and a better shared future that make a difference in people's lives, communities, and our planet. I know the vision is quite long. Probably there could be a slight mix there between the mission and the vision. But we are saying the mission statement defines the brand's current purpose and what it does. The vision statement outlines the brand's aspirational future, and what it wants to become. So vision, the brand mission and vision are the other elements. And then we have two aspects that make a good brand. One, logo, which we have talked about, and sometimes you can also have a slogan. Yeah, a slogan. Okay, so brief sessions, but very, very important to every startup. I believe just the same way we took time to reflect on the
Okay, C is coming back. Seems like it was an issue of network. He's coming back now. So let's give him a minute as he hears us. Okay, Mr. President, you may go on.
Yeah, thank you, Bishop. Thank you for that. Actually, we are winding up. Yeah, just winding up. And those are the two sessions that the two modules that we planned to cover today. And I'll just share the link again. We can reflect over the week on the two modules. So I don't know if there's any comment. I know I've just gone through the business branding strategy. I didn't pause in between. I can take a comment on this as we wind up our session for tonight. So just feel free to mention or share any comment on this.
Daktari, I go first.
Karibu, welcome, Bishop.
I was Sante Sana. Good evening, leaders. Poleni, I am preparing for my graduation tomorrow, so we had a dinner and I joined quite late. Poleni. I was touched by this thing called the brand persona. So brand actually has its own characteristic. It's a person on its own, and the things that you are taking us through, I was reflecting on that, and I see, oh yeah, that's why these corporates are taking the branding so serious, and we with our smaller micro businesses, we don't give it much thought. But going through that session, I think I should do more about my brand and increase its visibility and align it inclusive with the seriousness of colors, so that maybe from the colors you can identify this brand. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you, Bishop. Yeah, I'm sure this is a reflection for all of us. There's always that one thing that comes out very strong, and it helps us to deeply reflect on what we are doing and the areas that we can improve. And I'm happy you've picked that. Okay. Okay, since we are not many, maybe I can move on to Melio.
Yeah, I think the issue of branding is key. Yeah, today we see a lot of competition, especially with companies. But one thing I've noted is institutions like copying. One, they see a strong brand. For them to sell, they try almost to be very similar. For example, if you go to the supermarket today, you want to buy milk. Even if you are thinking about maybe this, you find almost similar colors. You really have to be sure what you wanted. Yeah. You go to another maybe cooking unga. You also find the same. So you find when it comes to branding, you really, the way you're saying, you have to really create, communicate it, re-emphasize it, because others, when they come, because people know Mazua is normally blue. So you find the others who will come will also camouflage themselves using almost more or similar colors. So you find, apart from banks, where you find very distinct, You find ABSA is led, KCB is different, Equity is different. When it comes to the consumer product, I see a lot of, the difference is so small. So that means you really have to do a lot of work so that you start out. When the customer comes to now picking the item, they are really able to identify this is you and this is what I want. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Melio. That speaks of consistency. Thank you. Sir Alex, I don't know if now your network is okay. I'd seen your message.
Okay, I think now I'm a bit clear.
Yeah, now you are clear.
The network was actually, it kept logging out. I didn't know why. But actually, basically, both topics tonight, it's more of what I'm currently doing on how to market some products and the branding. And actually, I keep referring the clients that branding is how people see the product. There are things you can just buy by a branding you saw somewhere, or you saw a branding somewhere on the road, and the next thing you're in the supermarket or in the shop looking at that particular item. So branding by itself, it's how public differentiates itself from the competitors or something else. So actually, in marketing or of products, branding is the key, and how it shows. You know, there are products you'll see, if it's not well branded, you won't feel even comfortable going looking for it. But if it's eye-catching, you'll like to know or get to know what kind of product is that. If it's new, you don't know it, you haven't heard of it in the market, somebody talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Alex. And I like this because, as you put it, goes beyond it goes beyond, sometimes it's a combination. As we do the visual, we are also talking about how do we create emotional connection. There is a certain product I remember I bought in the supermarket, and it was based on the branding. Okay, the taste was not as we expected, which was also a downfall on the product, because that means we didn't go back to buy the same brand. Yeah, so maybe the packaging, the external branding was well done, but I think it also needs to blend also with what we have also mentioned, things to do with quality. Yeah, so that you have those repeat customers. The appealing external appearance has also to blend with the internal. If someone markets GLN, and then when someone comes into the training, they don't find it the same, so the external and the internal don't rhyme, then that way we may lose on the customer loyalty. So I think the two also have to go hand in hand. And thank you so much, Mr. Alex, for that. Okay, Mr. Samuel, share a comment on this.
I think spare me, or I have a sore throat.
Oh,
Spare me for that.
yeah, that's okay. Sorry for that. We wish you well. Yeah. Okay, so I believe we can take some time to reflect on this. So let me appreciate you, leaders. We have one more session to go, but we still have a presentation to make, which might also need some more time. when I was planning, the two options are open. One, an option of stretching a little bit, then graduating. The other option is to allow us just to cover the remaining modules, including the presentations. Then we can graduate at a later date. I don't know what will be your take on this. Do we push ourselves for 2 lessons next week and graduate, or do we allow ourselves some more time and graduate later on with the new cohorts? They can get your view on this as we wind up.
We push ourselves and graduate.
Okay, thank you, Melioff. Yes, Bishop Kahindi.
I agree with Meliot.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Sir Alex.
I'm also in agreement with them. We can push ourselves, and if you feel you want to catch a link up, you can join as the next class and be a supportive team member.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, like the current strategic leadership, we have, I think, 3 who have joined. They had finalized, but now they have joined the class just to enhance and also catch up on any modules that they might have missed. Okay, I don't know, Mr. Samuel, if you will share on the chat.
Oh yes, let me share.
Okay. Yeah. So, but generally, I think the feeling is that we can stretch a little bit. For the coursework, it's not much. We just have 1 session remaining, and then what we'll do is I'll share on the chat what we need to prepare. We had not planned on preparing a business model canvas, but I think that will be important. So we'll prepare a business canvas model, and then we'll also prepare just a simplified business plan. Those are the 2 presentations. And the presentations may not necessarily need to come before the graduation. We can even do the presentations after the graduation. So the focus will be majorly, let's do the coursework. So next week, Wednesday, we'll wind up on the coursework. Then the other Wednesday, even after the graduation, we can do the presentations because presentations are majorly just for us to appreciate and apply what we have learned. Yeah, so Mr. Samuel also agrees that we can push ourselves. So I think that's quite okay. Lois, let me request you to kindly engage with Mr. Alex Munene and Steve. They go through this session, tonight's session, listen through, and then they prepare for the final session next week, and also prepare for the graduation, as we have agreed in this class. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let me request Bishop to make a prayer for us.
Thank you very much, Daktari and Asanteni leaders. Maybe I should mention this. I'm graduating at Kitengela Kesho GMC grounds. For those who can make it, saa 3 mpaka saa 7, you can be there as we test the graduation. Now, as we bring this one to a close, May just appreciate all of you. Na Daktari for taking us through. May we pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you because by your grace that you are enabling us to go through these lessons. And God, you have opened the eyes of our understanding that God, from these teachings, we are getting to understand many things that are good for our businesses. Lord, we pray that you give us, Jehovah, the zeal and fortitude to follow through and put the things that we are learning here into practice, that our businesses will grow, Lord, from glory to glory. Above all, Father, as we expand and as you're expanding us, we pray that you be glorified in everything that we do. We honor you even as we plan for the completion of this course and for the graduation. And we even pray for the other people who have learned and are learning different courses, that God, they will be able to finish and that graduation, Father God, shall be successful. We thank you and we worship you, for there is none like you. In Jesus' mighty name, I do pray and believe. Amen. Amen. May
Amen.
we share.
Congratulations.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, leaders, and have a good night.